Today, I'm taking the Zoom F2-BT, an ultra-portable field recorder for a test run. It's a body pack audio recorder that accepts a lavalier microphone through a 3.5mm jack and is aimed towards content creators. From what I see, videographers, YouTubers, field recordists, journalists, and podcasters. What's groundbreaking in the Zoom F2 is its 32-bit float audio recording, which basically allows you to record without having to set up input gains. Yup, you just plug in a lavalier mic and record right away. So how does this work? That's because 32-bit audio has a dynamic range of 1528 dBs beyond what will ever be required in a digital audio recording file. A quick shout out to CK Music for loaning me the Zoom F2 for this video. If you are in Malaysia and looking for a musical instrument or some gears just like this, go and hit up CK Music. Link is below in the description. And now that's done, let's get back to the video. 16-bit audio has a dynamic range of 96 dB and 24-bit audio a dynamic range of 144 dB. The dynamic range is what you have where 0 dB fs, that's decibel relative to full scale, will be the highest audio level achievable in a digital audio file. So anything recorded past that 0 dB fs level is going to be clipped, giving you audio distortion. But with 32-bit float audio, unlike 16-bit or 24-bit audio, 32-bit audio goes up 770 dBs from that 0 dB fs point. Now, I might not be the best person to explain this, so I've placed down some links in the descriptions for you to read up on 32-bit audio technology. Generally, 32-bit float recording means you can record seriously loud or quiet audio signals without clipping or losing detail. Although, you probably have to do some audio leveling in post-production later on. Anyway, the F2-BT comes included with an omnidirectional lavalier microphone, 3 windscreen filters, a mic clip, and a pair of AAA batteries. It does not come with a USB cable, which you'll need, so take note on that. On the F2, you only have a few operational buttons. A dial to turn it on and off, volume stop and play buttons to preview recordings. Now on top, there are two 3.5mm input and output, one to receive a lavalier microphone and the other for monitoring on your headphones. The USB-C port is to connect the F2 to your computer, or alternatively, you can also use a power bank to supply power to the F2. On the back, you'll find a belt clip and a slot to put in a micro SD card, which feels a little bit flimsy to me. The F2 is definitely not made to be water resistant. Operational wise was fairly easy. Insert the batteries, micro SD card and you're good to go. Just turn the F2 on, wait a few seconds for it to be ready and then hit record. Now, you want to make sure to use the whole switch so you don't accidentally stop recording. Then, clip the F2 to your pants, belt, bag, or drop it into your pocket and forget about it. The Zoom F2 offers up to 14 hours of recording with batteries and accepts micro SD cards up to 512 gigs in size. Well, because 32-bit audio files are normally bigger compared to its 16 and 24-bit counterparts. Now I found the supplied lavalier microphone to be okay, it sounded a little bit muffled to my taste. That said, you can use any lavalier microphones with a 3.5mm connector with the Zoom F2. I tried using the Rode Smart Lav with the Zoom F2 and it worked beautifully. Right out of the box, you need to connect the Zoom F2 via a USB-C cable to your computer to set it up. And on the editor, you can set the recording format, file naming standards, date, time, audio power off, Bluetooth function, and more. You'll need a computer to do this unless you get the F2-BT, the version with Bluetooth that enables you to connect the F2 with your smartphone. With that, you can change the settings using the Zoom Control app on your smartphone. Okay, so now that we got it all set up, let's take the Zoom F2 for a spin. Alright, so I'm all hooked up on the F2-B2. You can see the input blinking right there. That means there's input being sent into the F2-B2, right? And because this records on the 32-bit float audio, that means the dynamic range is super wide. I don't have to worry about getting it to clip or being too soft. I can always work on the audio back in post-production. You can see I'm all hooked up here. So I'm going to turn this to hold so we cannot actually press any more buttons here, and go out for a walk with my dog and just say a few words and see what happens. Take the recording back to into my computer and see what happens then. Alright, let's go. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, stay. Yeah. Let's go. Alright, so right now I'm recording with the F2-BT on an outdoor setting with my dog. So just hear how it sounds outdoor with the outdoor noises, insects, birds and more with the lavalier on my t-shirt here. Yeah? So I'm back at my desk and I've just imported the audio file, one of it from the F2-BT into Adobe Audition here. Now keep in mind that you're working with 32-bit audio, so some DAWs and audio editors cannot support 32-bit audio. So you want to make sure and check if your favorite DAWs or software actually supports 32-bit audio. In my case, I have to use Adobe Audition. It supports 32-bit audio, but I cannot use the files with Logic Pro, for example, because Logic Pro does not support 32-bit audio. Anyway, let's take a look at the audio files here briefly. So first thing I noticed is that the audio files are recorded very hot. It's very soft, recorded very soft here. And let me just take a quick listen at one of these bits here. Now, recording on 32-bit is a game changer because of its dynamic range. So the beauty about 32-bit audio is we can, just highlight this portion here and gain it up by quite a bit without introducing more noise into the recording. Now, recording on 32-bit is a game changer because of its dynamic range. It goes up to the 1000 and I can clearly hear the atmosphere, sound, my voice and also the insects and all that in that recording without actually introducing more noise into the recording. So that's amazing for 32-bit audio. Now, if I zoom down here, I can see that we have another sound here. This is a record hit of the tennis ball. Right? And again, if you record something that is too loud, above the 0 dB mark, you can always pull it back and it still sound amazing without clipping or distortion. Let me try to boost this up above the 0 dB point and see what happens. Let me just boost it a little bit more. Can you hear that? There's no distortion that has happened so far. Yeah, digitally on my software, you can see that it's already clipping. But sound-wise, it's not actually clipping yet, right? But logically, yeah, we can actually pull this down below the 0 dB point and we still have a perfectly sounding audio. So I think that's one of the beauty of the F2-BT. It records in 32-bit audio float, and that means the dynamic range is so wide that even very soft sounding sound and loud sounding sound can be used and edited digitally within your software. Should you get the F2-BT, the model with Bluetooth, over the F2 for $50 extra? The difference in the Bluetooth version is it enables you to monitor the input, punch in markers, and control the F2-BT remotely via Bluetooth using the F2 Control app on your smartphone. You'll also be able to change settings like low cut, recording format, file naming, and more without having to connect the F2 to your computer. Now, I think this is especially useful for when you're recording outdoors and don't have a quick access to a computer. And being able to monitor and confirm the input levels will surely give you assurance, especially if you're recording something seriously important. So yeah, the $50 upgrade might be expensive, but I think it's probably worth it in the long run. The Zoom F2 records in mono, but imagine what it can do if it records in stereo. You can begin to record things like live performances and keyboards. Now, I think the Zoom F2 is great for people who do field recordings, interviews and more. And it's truly the type of device where you plug in the microphone, hit record, put on hold, and then just forget about it. It's a strong selling point and you want to buy it because of its 32-bit audio recording technology. And this is what it's meant for. No input levels, plug it in and go straight away. So let me know what you think about the Zoom F2, Bluetooth and also non-Bluetooth version in the descriptions below, and I can't wait to hear from your thoughts as well. Thanks. Let's go. Okay. Go first. Sit. Good boy.